Hi everyone, for tea tonight we are having mushroom risotto. Now this is an all-in-one risotto once it gets going. I'm just softening one small onion. Just steering clear of the steam a bit. I'll put the recipe into the main description so you don't have to worry too much about trying to fathom out what's happening. So as I say, I'm just softening one small onion. It was probably about an inch, inch and a half big, something like that. You could use a medium one if you like a lot of onion, or half, slightly larger one. I don't want it to burn. This is 8 ounces of diced mushrooms. I lost a piece there. Yes, I did. There we are. They should release some liquid once they get going, and that will stop the onions from burning. We love mushroom risotto, but we haven't actually had it for quite a long while. But depending on what you put in it, it's quite a cheap meal. Tastes wonderful. So we have one small onion, 8 ounces of chunks of mushroom. And then we are going to have 5 ounces of arborio or risotto or paella rice. This happens to be paella rice. 3/4 of a pint of stock. You will probably need another 1/4 of a pint. Now say, once we get these mushrooms ready, this is an all-in-one recipe, and we just have to stand here and stir it. You can't go anywhere. Now we're just shrinking these down. As the moisture comes out of them, they'll slowly go down. I'm using one of my lovely half wooden spoons. So handy. Right, let's turn that down a bit. And a squeak in. Add a smidge more oil. Turn that down more. Right, now the rice is going to go in. Quick stir, and then we will, just to coat all the grains, and then we will add the stock. Now we couldn't decide whether to do this in a large frying pan or this sort of thick bottomed pan, but we decided on this in the end, many moons ago. So it can stick, but if your frying pan's too big, your stock will evaporate. So rather than pouring it in bit by bit, which is the normal thing to do, all the stock goes in at the same time. I'll just get another 1/4 of a pint or so ready. And just give it a good stir. Turn it up again. And then when we get closer to the end, the final parts of the ingredients are 1/2 ounce of fresh parmesan. We keep this in the freezer and just tip it out and put it back in the freezer. 2 ounces of frozen peas, slowly thawing. And 1 ounce of garlic cream cheese. I'll show you what this is. Got the lid somewhere. I can't find it. This is Lidl garlic cream cheese. They do a chili cream cheese and I think a pepper cream cheese, but we like the garlic. It's very light because it's made with whipped cream rather than the thick cream like Philadelphia and all those other Boursin, that sort of thing. Just turn that up a bit more. And the idea is to just keep stirring this. Once it comes to the boil, I will turn it back down again. Turn my paper tissue off just to rest my spoon. Now you can of course add herbs in here. Chopped chives goes quite well. I did have a little bit of chicken left over from a roast chicken the other day, but I've decided to keep this vegetarian, apart from the fact I'm using a chicken stock cube. You would use a vegetable stock cube, obviously. Let me have a think. Oregano, marjoram, thyme, sage and rosemary will probably be a little bit too strong. Right, that's come up to the boil, so now we are going to stir this. Add in more liquid if we think we need it. Don't need to stir it constantly until it evaporates a bit more. So I'll stop recording here and bring you back when it's a bit further on. Hi everyone and welcome back. As you can see, we're getting there. I've added the other 1/4 of a pint of stock. Some of this is cooked and some isn't, and I think, to be honest with you, it really does depend on how old or fresh your rice is, because this is a bit old, this rice. Still within date, but close to its date. I know everybody goes on and on and on in the prepper world about rice lasting ages, but I think you've got to prepare it to make it last ages. Let's just test these. Yeah, they're getting soft. So I'm going to put the peas in now. Could be sort of quite a brown dish, being mushrooms. These are chestnut mushrooms. Ooh, that's a bit of uncooked onion there that's escaped up the side. I think 1 or 2 of these grains are probably not as well done as the rest, but overall they are soft. Okay, next thing in is this beautiful garlic cream cheese. Give that a stir. It takes a little while to get in. I've had the lid on and off just to try and accelerate this because it is taking, I think it's going to actually be about 40 minutes all in. And I wanted to keep in some of the moisture, but let the rice cook further. There we are. And the final bit is I actually like to put the cheese, oh, got some left in my bowl, put the cheese in the pasta so that it all gets flavoured rather than eating it and finding you've got some that's flavoured more than the other. It's got a nice creamy texture to it. I'm just going to test that. Mainly the rice. Needs a smidgen of salt, not too much, maybe 1/4 teaspoon's worth. about half a teaspoon of black pepper. Turn it off. Okay, there you have it. 2 steaming hot bowls of mushroom and pea risotto. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time. Bye.